Why is this?
The story begins in Bengaluru with a 25-year-old security guard, an ordinary job and an alleged digital connection that police say led all the way to a terror group in Pakistan. Asaful Malik, a native of West Bengal, has been detained by Bengaluru Police over alleged links with Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP. Police allege that Malik was in contact with a person linked to the group, wanted to travel to Afghanistan and had even applied for a visa. But here is the big question. What was he actually doing in India? Was this only an online radicalization case? Was he trying to join a foreign terror group? Or was there a larger plan involving India? Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Dive brought to you by NewsX. I'm Asaful. Today we're looking at the Bengaluru terror investigation. The man at the center of it all, his alleged TTP connections, the Afghanistan links, and the most important of them all, what investigators are trying to find out about the activities in India. Asaful Malik is 25 years old and comes from Naupara village in West Bengal's North 24 Parganas district. According to police, he had been living near APC Circle in Bengaluru's Jigani area and he was not unemployed or living underground. In fact, Malik had been working as a security guard at Tata Advanced Limited in the Jigani industrial area since December 2025. That detail is important because the investigation is now looking at what happened during his months in Bengaluru. Police say they first received information about his suspicious activities while conducting patrols in Boma Sandra industrial area. That information eventually led to police to question Malik. And then came the digital trail. Police alleged that Malik had established contact on Facebook with a person identified as Imran Haider. Investigators believe Haider is associated with the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Police say they later found chats between Malik and Haider along with records of video and audio chats, conversations amongst them all. And this is where the case moves from a suspicious online contact to a potential terror investigation. Because the question is no longer just who was he talking to, the question is what were they talking about. Investigators are now examining the contact and the content of these communications to determine the extent of the alleged connection. And then comes the Afghanistan connection. According to police, Malik allegedly sought Imran Haider's help to travel to Afghanistan. He had also applied for a visa. Police say Malik wanted to join the group, but the plan did not materialize. According to the police account, Malik later abandoned the plan because of financial difficulties and family responsibilities. But that does not end the story, because even if he never reached Afghanistan, his alleged contact with a TTP-linked individual continued to raise questions. And that brings us back to India. Police say Malik allegedly told them that he was angry over what he believed were atrocities against civilians in Pakistan. He allegedly referred to attacks on mosques and civilians. Police also say he expressed anger over Pakistan's position on Israel-Palestine conflict. But the question and the investigation is looking at whether these grievances were being turned into something more. Police allege that Malik was being urged to retaliate if Muslims face difficulties in India. And that is critical to this case at large, because it raises the question of whether his alleged radicalization had an India-specific angle. Another detail that police are examining is AI-generated image allegedly created by Malik showing himself as a mujahideen. Now, an image by itself does not prove that someone is a member of a terror group. But investigators are looking at it as a part of a larger digital trail. The image, the chats, the voice calls, the alleged contact with a TTP-linked person are being examined all together. And that is why Malik's mobile phone has now become a key piece of evidence. So let's come back to the central question. What was Asaful Malik doing in India? At this stage, police have not established that Malik carried out a terror attack in India. There is also a difference between wanting to join a foreign militant group or actually having an operational role inside India. That distinction will be critical. Investigators will now have to establish whether Malik was acting alone. Who else was he in contact with? Was he being recruited? Was he trying to recruit others? Did he receive any instructions? And did he have any concrete plan for violence in India? These questions are still under investigation. What makes this case significant is the alleged sequence: a social media contact, followed by a private chat and voice communication, and then an alleged attempt to travel to Afghanistan. And now an investigation into whether anything more was happening while he was living in Bengaluru. This is also why digital evidence and investigations have become so important in modern terror cases. A person may never cross a border, never attend a training camp, and never meet a suspected operative face to face. But online contact can still create a trail, and police now have to determine how far this trail goes. The next stage of the investigation will be about connecting the dots. Police are examining the content of Malik's chats, voice recordings, and other material recovered from his phone. They will also have to verify his contact and establish whether there were other people involved as well. The Afghanistan visa application could also help investigators understand how serious the travel plan was. And most importantly, they will have to determine whether there was any concrete plan of violence on Indian soil. Let me take this conversation across to Mr. Sanjay Sahai, former ADGP of Karnataka, who joins us on the broadcast. I appreciate you taking our time. A very serious case coming to light, and with that serious case, many serious questions. But the investigation is taking place, and like I said, the dots are being connected. What are you making of this case based on the information that has come to light so far?
Currently, what has come to light is the nascent stage of this particular case, and 2 points are very important to start with. First is the radicalization part, and whatever is available in the public domain. It seems to be reasonably clear on the data available so far that radicalization was not done by the handler, which is this Afghanistan-based terror operator. So radicalization has happened somewhere else, and also there is no denying the fact that radicalization has happened on the social media, on the internet, on the digital medium. It has not happened one-to-one. So the fact of the matter is that radicalization is happening, and our capability to scan the digital medium or the social media, internet, whatever you call it, and the social media apps, I think is still at a very nascent stage. Point number two, that having been radicalized, so to say, he has only made attempt to reach out to the concerned operator in Afghanistan, and it is not that the operator has tried to get connected to him. Now, since Taliban took over, this TTP has been operating in Afghanistan. It has turned out to a very safe haven, and most of its operations happens from the Afghanistan area, that is the border area of those two particular countries. It is a known fact that this has turned out to be one of the major impediments in stopping terrorism in Pakistan. Now, what is happening in India is also equally important, that the STF in West Bengal, they have laid their hands on a couple of terror operatives in West Bengal, and one recent one has also happened, one party-related gang and unit is there. So in Pakistan, so that has also come to light. Now, what is very, very critical is that as it stands now, there is sufficient amount of inflammable material based on which a very concrete investigation can be conducted. Now, one point where Bangalore Police needs to be complimented, that out of their patrolling or out of whatever intelligence they got, they have been able to lay their hands on this particular terror suspect or terror sympathizer, and they have been able to take him into custody, and that will open up the can of worms as we expect. Now, what is most important is what in terror terminology we call as a lone wolf. Whether this fellow is a lone wolf or a part of a sleeper cell or a part of much bigger operation, because there have been TTP is there is TTH also. So that has been operating in this country. Whether these things get connected or not, as the present investigation stands, which is very, very nascent, I will repeat once again that very, very nascent, still the dots have to be connected. Of critical importance is how it gets connected to TTP in Afghanistan, who have been, or only this fellow has been the handler or the contact person, or he is a part of a much bigger ecosystem which operates out of Afghanistan. Presumably, he is there to avenge whatever the Pakistan army or the Pakistan establishment have been raining terror on the Muslims and mosques. And that is where the whole thought process and the retaliatory and terrorist mindset has come up with. So as we move further, there is a necessity of getting inputs, which the Bangalore Police certainly would be getting from the intelligence agencies at the federal level. They need to collaborate with the STF in West Bengal, which has done commendable work in last 3-4 years. And also try out the Afghanistan connection in totality. This person, I don't know whether there's a background verification before he joined the company we are talking about. So when security guards join any company, there's a background police verification which is required. I'm not sure of the fact, or because of the encrypted or semi-encrypted nature of communication which he was having with the person in Afghanistan, whether that has ever come to light. So broadly, this is a very complex investigation, primarily dealing with digital forensics of a different kind, trying to bring in the dots which are primarily digital, encrypted in nature, and to what they are able to lay their hands on. Huge amount depends on the intelligence being shared by federal agencies and from agencies from outside, and also the capability of digital forensics, which Karnataka and the federal agencies have. So this is broadly where we stand, but we need to focus on this because we are not sure of the fact as to what is the nature of radicalization which is still happening. What is our connect with TTP? There are people who are doing in this country, and what is the trajectory which we need to take forward to set up a regime of de-radicalization and a better coordinated attempt at preventing these incidents.
Right, so absolutely. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives with us on NewsX. We take a short break. We'll be back on the other side. Stay tuned.